Yeah, sometimes there's quite a bit of messages to scroll through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, shalom and welcome everybody. So this is going to be our midweek Midrash. We'll probably reschedule it actually next week because it might work better for Thursdays for most people. But yeah, we're going to start our reading in Enoch. You know, we did a little vote. I don't know if everybody saw it, but everybody, there was actually every vote was for Enoch. So we're just going to read Enoch. And, you know, if you guys have questions about, you know, any verses that we're reading or anything you would like to add or that you see or pops out, feel free. So this is going to be Enoch, and it's from Yahuah in the Torah or Yah's scriptures. And I can share, actually, let me share the link in the chat. And then, so that's the link there to Enoch, what we're reading here. And give me just a moment. All right. Let's say a quick prayer, and then we'll dive right into it. Father, Abba Yahuwah, we thank you for all of your blessings and your guidance and protection that you've given us. And we ask that you help to continue to guide us as we read and study through your word. And we need your strength and your guidance and your love. And we see that compassion and the mercy that you have for your people. And we just thank you so much, Father. And I ask to please lift up all of us who are struggling through the trials and tribulations and sicknesses, no matter what it is. We need your help, Father, and we can't do it without you. And I pray to you in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Let it be so. Excuse me. All right, so starting in Enoch chapter 1, and usually the chapters are pretty short here in Enoch, so we'll probably get through a few chapters here. And I didn't want to go on too long this evening. There's a couple projects I'm working on as well. But yeah, no, feel free to add or ask questions, whatever. No problems. All right, so the words of the Barakah of Enoch, which he Baruch, the elect and righteous, who will be living in the day of tribulation, when all the wicked and unrighteous are to be removed. And he took up his parable and said, Enoch, a righteous man, whose eyes were opened by Elohim, saw the vision of the Kodesh one in the Shamayim, which the messengers showed me. And from them I heard all matters, and from them I understood as I saw, but not for this generation, but for a distant one, which is to come. And I'm sure many know about this, but, you know, he says right here in the beginning, you know, he wrote this for our generation. You know, when we're living in the days of the tribulation, when the wicked and unrighteous are to be removed. I would say the days of the season of deception, but let me continue here. So concerning the elect, I said, and took up my parable concerning them. The Kadash one, the great one, will come forth from his dwelling. And the eternal Elohim will tread upon the earth, on Mount Sinai, and appear from his camp, and appear in the strength of his might, from the Shamayim of Shamayim. Yeah, interesting. Appear from his camp.
Jeremy, as you read that, it said Mount Sinai, right? I'm trying to follow
Yeah.
along here. What is this speaking of? Really quickly. Yeah.
So there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry.
No, no.
So there's I think there's 3 different mountains of Yahuah,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Mount Zion, Mount
Mm-hmm.
Sinai, and what's the other one? I can't
Don't
think of
know.
it right now. But there's
Hair,
3. There's
Heron? No, I don't know.
Mount Hebron. I think
Mhm.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong on that last one,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, but
That's okay. That's
but
okay.
no. So Mount Sinai is one of the mountains. Actually, if you look into Ron Wyatt's work that he's done,
Mm-hmm.
he found Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia as we know it today, and you can see the burnt top of the mountains. So all what it's saying here is he's going to tread upon the earth on Mount Sinai and appear from his camp. In this, so it's basically just showing the destruction that's going to happen because of all the sin that's here on the earth and things like that.
So in our fellowship on Sunday, we were talking about Mount Zion,
Yeah.
um, being where the new Jerusalem will sit, correct?
Yes, and I believe that's the one in the north there.
The one in the north. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mount Sinai is a different mountain that he'll tread upon.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. Trying to make the correlation or the difference. Uh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Maybe it'll
Yeah.
come.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
worries.
Jeremy, the third mountain, Mount Moriah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Mount Moriah. Thank you.
And they all face each other. Yeah, they face each other.
Yeah. Correct.
Um, yeah, and I think as we get further into Enoch, because he kind of maps out the entire Earth, so we'll have a better picture of all the mountains and stuff. But I was gonna say the Saudi Arabia site is so cool. I don't there's some good documentaries and kind of how they kind of like stumbled upon that and figured it out. But even there's like a split rock that shows water, like came out of it. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really awesome, actually. The rock of Horeb, the one Moses split.
Yep. But
Ye-
like I watched a documentary about it and they were just reading Exodus and like everything about it aligned with scripture. It was so cool. And then they found like where they think they um crossed the river. They found like chariot
Yeah.
wheels. So cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really awesome stuff, actually. It's Ron Wyatt on his channel. The Saudi Arabia and the Red Sea, 100%. Like, it blew my mind when I first saw it. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. And yeah, as we do continue through Enoch, yeah, that's a good point, Sister Rachel. He's going to describe the earth and these mountains and things like that as well. So we'll definitely get into it all. All right. So continuing in verse 5 here. And all shall be smitten with fear, and the watchers shall quake. And the great fear and trembling shall seize them unto the ends of the earth. And the high mountains shall be shaken, and high hills shall be made low, and shall melt like wax before the flame. And the earth shall be completely torn in pieces, and all upon it the earth shall perish. All upon all. Wait, I totally read that wrong. And all that is upon the earth shall perish, and there shall be a judgment upon all. But with the righteous he will make peace, and he will protect the elect, and compassion shall be upon them, and they shall be all They shall all belong to Elohim, and they shall be prospered, and they shall all be Baruch. And he will help them all, and light shall appear unto them, and he will make peace with them. And see, he comes with 10,000 of his Kodashim to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the wicked, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their wickedness, which they have committed wickedly, and all the harsh matters which wicked sinners have spoken against him. And speaking about the day of judgment there,
And if there may be most people that know this, but some people that don't, but the verse 9, when he says he cometh with 10,000 of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, that is a direct quote that Jude makes of Enoch in, I think, chapter 7.
yeah, that's correct. That is correct.
Yes. And he even attributes it to Enoch.
Yeah. And, people who want to toss out the book of Enoch, they're like, oh, well, they always have some excuse for why Jude is quoting that. And it's because Enoch lines up. Messiah quotes from it. The apostles quote from it. The Old Testament quotes from it. It's legit, 100%. I think, chapter 2 is really short here. Only 3 verses. So observe all matters that take place in the Shamayim, and how they do not change their orbits. And the lights which are in the Shamayim, how they all rise up, and put in order each in its season, and do not transgress against their appointed order. See the earth, and give heed to that which takes place upon it from first to last. How steadfast they are, how none of that on earth changes, but the works of Elohim appear to you. And see the summer and the winter, and how the whole earth is filled with water, and clouds, and dew and rain lie upon it. So yeah, we see here he's talking about, the luminaries in the heavens, the sun, moon, and the stars, and how they're putting in order each in their season, and they don't transgress their appointed order, and that's why they're so important to the calendar. And chapter 3 is really short. I didn't realize that. So observe and see how all the trees seem as though they had withered and shed all their leaves, except for 14 trees, which do not lose their foliage, but retain the old foliage from 2 to 3 years until the new comes. So it's interesting because there's 14 trees on earth, and they're all like pine trees and firs and things like that. And they never lose their leaves. They're the evergreen trees. And there's 14 different species of them, which lines up exactly with what Enoch says here. And again, observe the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth, over against it. And you seek shade and shelter because of the heat of the sun, and the earth also burns with growing heat. And so you cannot tread on the earth or on a rock because of its heat. And I can say this is true, especially when you live in the desert. You can literally cook an egg on the rock in the summer here in Phoenix. All right, so chapter 5 here, pretty good one. So observe how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and bear fruit. Therefore give heed and know with all regard to his works, and recognize how he that lives forever has made them so. And all his works go on from year to year forever, and all the tasks which they accomplish for him, and their tasks do not change. But according to how Elohim has ordained, so it is done. And see how the sea and the rivers in the same way accomplish and do not change their task from his commandments. But you have not been steadfast, nor done the commandments of Yahuah, but you have turned away and spoken proud and harsh words with your impure mouths against his greatness. Oh, you hard-hearted, you shall find no peace. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Sister Rachel. All those quotes. So therefore, you shall... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the 14 trees that he observed, the evergreen trees. How could he have known that if he was just in a small place over in the Middle East,
Yeah, exactly.
Because those 14 trees are all over, the continents. So he either had to see them himself or he was inspired, or both.
Oh, yeah, I believe it was both. And we're actually going to see, well, we're going to read how Enoch himself was taken up to the position of Yahuah.
Yeah.
So he was seeing the earth from his position. But yeah, how could Enoch have known all that?
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It really
And
is.
people just don't pick up on things like this, when they don't read Enoch, or they won't accept Enoch.
Yeah. And it's mostly because they're just listening to others who say, oh, Enoch's bad, don't read it, And those people have usually just learned it from others who say the same thing. And not many have actually read it, All right. So therefore you shall loathe your days, and the years of your life shall perish, and the years of your destruction shall be multiplied in eternal loathing, and you shall find no compassion. In those days you shall make your names an eternal loathing unto all the righteous, and by you all who curse shall curse, and all the sinners and the wicked shall loathe by you, and for you, the wicked, there shall be a curse. And all shall rejoice, and there shall be forgiveness of sins, and every compassion, and peace, and patience. There shall be salvation unto them, a pleasant light. And for all of you sinners, there shall be no salvation, but on you all a curse shall abide. So, this has everything to do with, kind of our topic we're going to get on Sabbath, but, matters of the heart and the matter of Yahuwah's heart. And so we see this is actually one of those matters of Yahuwah's heart. He doesn't like those who are, uncompassionate, the ones who don't have patience, these type of things. It's important that we have compassion and peace and patience and love even. And so, but for the elect there shall be light and joy and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. And then there shall be given wisdom to the elect, and they shall all live and never again sin, either through wickedness or through pride. But they who are wise shall be humbled, and they shall not transgress again, nor shall they sin all the days of their life, nor shall they die of anger or wrath. but they shall complete the number of days of their high, and their lives shall be increased in peace, and the years of their joy shall be multiplied, in eternal gladness and peace, all the days of their life. Yeah, this is where we're seeing the new kingdom as well. Speaking about the new kingdom here. When heaven and earth are remade as one. How long? Yeah, so these first few chapters, they aren't very long. That's why we're getting through them here pretty quickly. So, Enoch chapter 6. And it came to be, when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them good-looking and lovely daughters. And the messengers, the children of the Shamayim, saw and lusted after them. And they said to one another, Come, let us choose wives from among the children of men, and bring forth children. So this is talking about the watcher angels. And Shemyasa, who was their leader, said to them, I fear you will not indeed agree to do this, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath, and bind ourselves by mutual curses, not to abandon this plan, but to do this matter. And they all swore together and bound themselves by mutual curses upon it. And they were in all 200 who descended in the days of Yared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual curses upon it. And speaking of Mount Hermon, so I'm sure most people know about, like Paramount Pictures, and they have that mountain with the stars falling down and things like that. Well, that's what it is symbolizing right here. The fall of these watchers on Mount Hermon. It's pretty wild, the truth they put right in plain sight. And these are the names of their leaders. Shamalastes, their leader. Arkleba, Ramiel, Kokabel, Tamliel, Ramliel, Daniel, Hezekiel, Beriakel, Ashel, Armoros, Barterel, Ananel, Zachiel, Shemshapel, Satarel, Suriel, Yomyael, Sario. These are the chiefs of tens. I'm probably going to butcher some of these names. My apologies. So yeah, we can see this is where the watcher angels fell. And then these are the names of the leaders. And then they have chiefs of tens, who were chiefs over hundreds, and then so forth and so on. Because they set up an order just like Yahuah has. Like that's Yahuah's order there in the heavens. And chapter 7. And all the other angels, and all the others together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose one for himself, and they began to go in unto them, and to defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments, the cutting of roots, made them to know plants. And they became pregnant, and they brought forth great giants, and the giants brought forth Nephilim, and the Nephilim brought forth Eluid, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. Yeah, they were manipulating plants. They were manipulating DNA, as we can see right here. And this is where, the term chimera comes from, and, all those ancient gods with, like, different animal heads and faces, especially in, like, Egypt and places like that. That's where we see this evidence of exactly this. Right here in the book of Enoch.
So they're not talking about like herbalism and healing with herbs, correct?
No, they're talking about using it for witchcraft and sorcery, things like that.
Good.
Part of me wonders too if they were, because if you read in the Book of the Giants, I think it talks about plants too. So part of me wonders if they were actually splicing like Nephilim DNA with like plant DNA too, because it says cutting of roots. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, interesting.
Because I don't know if you've seen some of the like here where I live, there's a park called Garden of the Gods. And when they talk about it, or they call it GOG, which I don't think is by accident. But they actually have rock formations that are like sleeping, they call them sleeping giants. And so now I've like gone and actually looked at them. And I think that they are like they're on their backs, like laying down if you look at them. But I don't know if you've seen pictures of like petrified giant trees and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that may be what those gigantic trees were. They were like manipulating. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look exactly like tree stumps.
Yeah, especially the one they call it. I think it's Devil's Peak or Devil's Tower or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
Devil's Tower.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of interesting. So I live in Colorado Springs, and now that I kind of am more awake to things, so we're surrounded by military installations, like all, we have the Air Force Academy. Um, there's another Air Force base, Peterson, and then the Army base that's down south, and then NORAD. And so now that I kind of understand that this place has significance, because there's like underground tunnels and stuff from Denver to Colorado Springs, and there's been I think some other indications that this is a special place for them. And so it just brings to mind the verse about we're not at war with flesh and blood, but with principalities in high places, because it's the altitude here is pretty high, and like Pikes Peak is a 14-footer, and like the Rocky Mountains is I think it's the highest like range in this continent. So yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I think that there's probably a lot here that they've tried to cover up. We went camping earlier this season, and we went to a place there's a highway that's called the Highway of Legends, and they had this like free downloadable thing that you could like take a driving tour of this big loop. And so it's kind of interesting to hear like the lie that they were telling. But I was with my mom, who she's not awake to this stuff. I've tried to get her to see, but there's this wall that kind of goes around the whole, like, I don't know how to describe it. I could maybe put some pictures in the chat, but there's part of the wall is called the Devil's Footsteps, and then there's like legends around these two mountains that this whole like highway goes around. And she was looking at the wall, and she's like, man, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought that was man-made. And I was like, well, I think it was. I think they were really big people that built it, but
yeah,
or
exactly.
part human, part angel. But Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I look through a different lens now when I travel and look around for sure.
I've
Yeah,
always
no, same
wondered
here.
how they cut those big trees down. Did anybody ever wonder about that? I mean,
With
they
the
look
big
like
giant,
straight.
big
That's chain.
Nephilim
Yeah,
heads.
that chainsaw had to be mighty big.
Yeah, yeah,
I
Oh,
think that there has been some archaeological finds of like really big, like big equipment, or not equipment, but like big saws, big axes and stuff that they found.
yeah, yeah. No, I've seen those. Yeah, and there's even a rock formation that it's on top of some mountain, and it just looks like a giant axe. I'd have to find that picture, but I've seen that one before, and we have. There's
I
actually a
think I've
mountain
seen
here.
that too.
Yeah, and there's actually a mountain here in downtown Phoenix, and it's right next to the freeway, and it looks exactly like a giant tree stump. And they call it a mountain, but when you drive by it, you can see like it goes up to a stump, and you can see where the roots kind of branch off, or at least used to. It's pretty
Hmm.
worn down, but you can definitely make out that shape.
Hidden in plain sight, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeremy, could you go back and read verse 3 again?
Yeah, it's who consumed all the acquisitions of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind.
Okay, I thought somewhere you read that they bore giants and the giants bore Nephilim. Was
Oh, that
maybe that
was
wasn't?
I think it was the oh yeah, it's right here, verse 2.
Oh, verse
So
2.
yeah, so after that, it explains how they taught them charms and enchantments,
Mm-hmm.
and then it says they became pregnant and they brought forth great giants, and the giants brought forth Nephilim, and the Nephilim brought forth the Eluid. Eluid. I hope I'm
Okay,
pronouncing
that
that correct.
what mine doesn't read that way. I have this Joseph Lumpkin thing. What edition are you, or what translation are you reading from?
It's Yah's scriptures. What's yours
Oh,
say there,
okay.
brother?
Um, well, it go from verse 2 and 3, and the angels taught them charms and spells and the cuttings of roots and made them acquainted with plants. And the women became pregnant, and they bare large giants whose height was 3,000 cubits, or ells.
Yeah, that's what
In-
mine said too. And
Interesting.
then I have a little side note just about L's. It says L means arm, which is similar to the manner of a cubit. Before the flood, no one knows exactly what this measure was. Could be the forearm for that matter. Either way, some were titans of epic proportions. And so I guess an L, what did it say? I thought
Ells
that I had
about
something here.
if it is a cubit or close to it, it'd just be really, really big, like
Yeah,
2,000 feet tall. And the thing about that is, there's a myth, in Greek mythology, I believe it's Greek mythology, where they're talking about the Titans, and those Titans were the same height as what's recorded in Enoch. So I think this is true. They were really, really that big, giant, very big, not just the 8 or 12 or 16-foot giants that we talk about in some of the discoveries that have been made, but really huge. And if you proportion that with these big tree trunks, You can see where it all ties together. And I think that the tales about the Titans in Greek mythology were just passed down from Noah's sons, and they just got uh, whatever the people decided to make myths and legends out of them, and they were really true.
Yeah, exactly. And that that's what they try to tell us today. Are like, oh, these are all myths and stories and legends, and they weren't true. But actually, they are true.
Yeah, I think they are too. And all these freaky things like satyrs and what have you, really
Yeah,
did exist. Demonic,
yeah,
well, gene splicing and whatever, genetic manipulation I think they were doing all of that, before the
yeah.
flood.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, also they, I mean, I think obviously they're telling us the truth in movies and stuff. So the Clash of the Titan, all the movies, um, and what is it, like X-Men?
Yeah,
They had supernatural abilities because they were part angel. But the Nephilim giants, yeah, I definitely think like the Titans, they were really that big. But I also think maybe, you know, as like genetically, like as you get further out, that they were maybe smaller. I don't know. Like the genetics gets like watered
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Maybe.
So they got smaller and
Um,
smaller. Yeah,
right. And then the other thing is that we see with all these like demon gods and things that we see um that there's these archetypes that go across, all the different um regions of the world. So they all have a similar story but with different names, and that's the origin of that is the Tower of Babel. So their languages were confused, and then he scattered them. So those have all been passed down like from the Tower of Babel, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. And we were actually talking about that the other day, because that's where basically everything stems from, all this mystery Babylon religion. It all stems back to Nimrod and the Tower of Babel.
yeah,
It also talks about in Jubilees, it's is it Canaan? Um he's been removed from the genealogy, like in the Masoretic text. Um but
Are you
but
talking about
Luke,
Cain?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Are you talking about Cain?
No, it's Canaan is his name. I'd have to look up. I don't have my Jubilees book on me right now, but so it's not Cain, but he's been removed. So he was like post flood. He finds this is recorded in Jubilees. He finds a rock that has like Watcher doctrines basically still written on it, and that's how he learns. And he like teaches everybody Watcher doctrine after he finds it. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's been
I've
removed
seen that
from,
too.
yeah. So he was removed from the genealogy in Genesis. But Luke, I think Luke um records him. So it's like, well, where did he come from? Well, it's because Luke was reading Jubilees and knew all of the genealogies.
wow,
But I think they took it, I mean, they took him out for a reason.
yeah,
And I think that's probably why, because he was significant in post flood, all of this Watcher stuff being relevant still, and it still is today, obviously. That's what, doctrines of demons came from the Watchers.
yeah, yeah. No, exactly. And that was a good catch too there about verse 2 being slightly different there at the end. I wonder where, I'll have to ask and see what translation they used.
Okay, so Cain is actually removed as well in Genesis 5. He's not in the genealogy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it is interesting. I think part of the genealogy thing was them messing with the timeline for sure. Because if you take out you take out a whole generation, especially with how long they lived, that takes out, that messes up a bunch of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and they do that to say that, oh, well, Shem is Melchizedek. That's just not the case. Well, they do it for various reasons, but that's one of the reasons they mess with the timeline, and not only in scriptures, but our timeline we're in now too.
I know this is speculation on my part, but I've thought, these big giants that they find like 12 and 8, 16 feet tall, and you hear stories about how the government has gone in, taken these things, and hidden them in the basement of the museums and what have you. I'm just wondering if those, since the patriarchs during the pre-flood era might have been, they lived for so long, hundreds and hundreds of years, they could have also been quite large because of the Earth's atmosphere and everything being so much different. Reptiles
Yeah,
bigger, uh, all this. So some of these giants they've been finding, who's to say that they weren't some of some of the patriarchs, and they were just small compared to these big 2,000-foot giants or 3,000 feet or whatever,
yeah,
however big they were, 10 miles high. Who knows?
yeah,
But
yeah. No, there's stories all across America here of the giant bones found, and
mhm.
actually in Afghanistan, there's stories of giants that have been there found that are living still to
Yeah,
this day. There.
yeah, there's stories about the American military being confronted by some of these things.
Yeah, yeah. The what is it? Kandahar giant.
Yeah, yeah.
The Kandahar giant. That's what it is.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just about to get in my car and run out the door, but I just wanted to mention something that I found quite interesting. I'm sorry, I'm just going a little bit off topic, but so in my Enoch, in the Septuagint, it cuts out chapter 32 and then jumps to chapter 89. So it kind of like gets rid of the calendar.
Wow.
So I think I've mentioned it before, but anyway, it goes chapter 30, 31, 32, then 89. So it skips all the calendar. But here's another little nugget. And that's why I was asking you the other day about the original Lexham Septuagint that isn't in hard copy. I think it's only available on PDF online, but I can't find it yet. Let's see if I can explain this. So in our regular normal versions, in Ezekiel 33, chapter 25, it says, "Therefore say to them, thus said the Adon Yahuah, you eat meat with the blood, and you lift up your eyes towards your idols and shed blood. Should you then possess the land?" And the Septuagint has completely left that out. It's just zero. It's null and
Wow.
void. They've jumped from chapter 25. Hang on. They exclude that whole verse. Just gone, vanished. So as important as the calendar is, also is that particular verse where they've just gone, no, we're not gonna write that, because I wonder exactly how it's been written.
Interesting.
So I just thought I would mention that. I can send some photos.
Yeah, no,
I
that'd
don't
be
know what it
great.
means. Don't know what it means, but there's something to it, because they've completely jumped. Yeah, anyway, I have to go.
No worries, sisters. Thank you for sharing that. That's something big to point out, especially that chunk of missing chapters. That's a large chunk.
Hey, Jeremy, is there a version of Enoch that is in the Paleo Hebrew? Do we know?
I've looked. Really, the only copies are the fragments from the Dead Sea Scroll, which isn't Paleo Hebrew, but it's more of that modern Hebrew in there, because they use that a lot at that time as well. But there are
The modern Hebrew?
without all the vowel points and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Aramaic, I guess.
Okay.
What they call it. But there are Paleo Hebrew scrolls and things like that. And there's even Greek scrolls with the New Testament. So it was really just their collection, their library. Yeah. But I know there's a Enoch that was found written in Greek. And that's like the main one. What is it? The Ethiopian Bible uses that Greek translation, but it's very fragmented as well. And interesting enough, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Book of Enoch, there you can see, for example, chapter 80, or no, it's 82. Yeah, chapter 82. So it'll only go to verse 20 in most of our modern translations, and actually even in this one here. But in the Dead Sea Scrolls, you're going to see verses after Enoch 82, because it only describes 2 of the 4 seasons there in 82, and then it kind of cuts off, and the next chapter is completely different.
All right, let's go get this done.
So,
She said,
sorry.
Sorry, I didn't have my mic on.
Okay, no worries. So after Enoch 82, it's going to then go into Enoch 82:20. It then goes into fall and then winter. Although it's kind of fragmented out, but it continues to go into the different star leader names in those seasons as well. So we do see evidence that Enoch has definitely been tampered with throughout the different translations. There's also the full scrolls of Enoch that were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, but were sold on the black market.
Of course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So are you saying 82 ends, well, like in our whatever, it ends with verse 20, but there's more to it?
Yep, exactly. And the Dead Sea Scrolls show it.
Yeah, because I only have 20. Let's see.
Yeah, we found this actually a while ago, and my mind was blown. And I was like, yeah. Because it started off with actually a brother Victor. He was pointing out, like, hey, look, chapter 82 of Enoch is incomplete. And we were like, no way. And then I started searching through the Dead Sea Scrolls about it. And that's where I found it. It literally says, Enoch chapter 82 after verses 20. And it continues to describe
Ethiopian?
No, not in
Correct?
the Ethiopian one. The Dead Sea Scrolls.
That's okay.
Yeah, there's actually there's a PDF in our library group. Let me try and find it. There's so many.
I'm just going through my hoard of scriptures here. and thinking I probably have something here that has it. I just have to look through. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'll have to go and find that, and then I'll share it in the group.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's really remarkable, and just more evidence of, they removed some things out of Enoch. All right, so chapter 8. Let's see. Yeah, we've already been here an hour. It doesn't even feel like it. Yeah, exactly, Rachel. They did not want us to know what was in it. All right. So let's continue chapter 8 here. And maybe we'll go to like chapter 10. I think that will be like a good round number to stop at,
Yeah.
So Enoch chapter 8. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth, and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the adorning of the eyelids. I think that's makeup, and all kinds of costly stones and coloring tinctures. And there arose much wickedness, and they committed whoring, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Shemiasa taught enchantments and root cuttings, Amaros, the resolving of enchantments, Barakiel, astrology, Kokabel, the constellations, Yezekel, the knowledge of the clouds, Arakiel, the signs of the earth, Shamshiel, the signs of the sun, and Sariel, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried out, and their cry went up to the Shamayim. And then Michael, Uriel, and Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from the Shamayim, and saw much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. And they said to one another, the earth made without inhabitants cries the voice of their crying up to the gates of the Shamayim. And now to you, the Kodeshim of the Shamayim, the beings of men make their petition, saying, bring our cause before the Most High. And they said to Yahuah of ages, Adon of masters, Elohim of mighty ones, sovereign of sovereigns, and Elohim of the ages, the throne of your esteem is unto all the generations of the ages, and your name Kodesh, and magnificent, and Baruch, unto all the ages. You have made all, and you have power over all, and all are naked and open in your sight, and you see all matters, and no one can hide himself from you. You see what Azazel has done, who has taught all unrighteousness on the earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were in the Shamayim, which men were striving to learn. And Shemiasa, to whom you have given authority to bear rule over his associates. And they have all gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. And the women have borne giants, and by this whole earth have been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now see, the beings of those who have died are crying and making their petition to the gates of the Shamayim, and their lamentations have ascended, and cannot cease because of the lawless deeds which are wrought on the earth. And you know all matters before they come to pass, And you see these, and you allow them, and you do not say to us, what are we to do? What are we to do to them in regard to these? And then chapter 10 here, our last chapter, for this evening anyway. It's a nice long one too. So Enoch 10. Then I said to the Most High, the Kodesh and Great One spoke, and sent Uriel the son of Lamech, and said to him, go to Noah, and tell him my name. Hide yourself, and reveal to him that the end is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a flood is about to come upon the whole earth, and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again Yahuah said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudael, and cast him in there. And place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment shall he be cast into the fire. And yeah, so we see here, Azazel was bound. He's put under these rough, jagged rocks, and it's on this great day of judgment, the day of Yahuah, judgment day itself. He's going to be cast into the great lake of fire. Oh, sweet. Thanks for sharing that, Kim. The definition of antimony.
You're welcome. I did not realize it was what it was.
Yeah, me either.
Get it.
Interesting. Let's see, where was I? Okay, verse 7. And heal the earth, which the messengers have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish through all the secrets that the watchers have disclosed and taught their sons. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. And Yahuah said to Gabriel, proceed against the half-breeds and the reprobates, and against the children of whoring, and destroy the children of the watchers from amongst men. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle, for they shall not have length of days. And no request that they make of you shall be granted unto their fathers on their behalf, for they expected to live in eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And Yahuah said to Michael, go, bind Shemyaza and his associates, who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, until the day of their judgment and of their completed end, till the judgment that is forever and ever is ended. In those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, into the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. And whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from there on be bound together with them to the end of all generations, and destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all the wicked from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end. And let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a barakah, a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forever. And then shall all the righteous escape, and shall live until they bring forth thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age they shall complete in peace. And then the whole earth shall be tilted in righteousness, and shall be planted with trees, and be full of barakah. Sorry, not tilted, tilled. And all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it, and the vine which they plant upon it shall yield wine in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown upon, each measure shall bear 1,000, and each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. And you cleanse the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all wickedness, and all the uncleanness that is wrought upon the earth. Destroy it from off the earth. And all the children of men shall become righteous, and all the nations shall offer adoration and praise me, and all that worship me. And the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment, and from all torment. And I will never again send upon it from I will never again send upon it from generation to generation and forever. All right. So yeah, there's a lot in this chapter. This is where some of them were bound and they were cast into the darkness. They had jagged rocks put over them. It was proclaimed that they would be there for 70 generations. And that day of judgment.
Part was agreeing with the 7,000 year. I mean, that's kind of the origin of the 7,000 year prophecy, because the generation is 100, so 70 times 100 is 7,000.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no worries.
I've just written quite a few notes on stuff that kind of jumped out at me previously when reading. Can I share a couple of other things and I'll let you
Yeah.
finish?
No, go ahead.
Well, so just that verse there, I've heard some people say that they believe that the watchers are going to return, like in the final, time frame that they're going to return. So that this right here refutes that, because it says that they're bound until their judgment. And the other thing that this makes me think about is serpent seed doctrine, because all of the watchers that took wives, human wives, received this punishment of being bound up, and Hasatan, or adversary, he didn't have that same judgment, so he couldn't have committed that same sin, because Yahuah is fair and just, so he would have done the same thing for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other thing that I highlighted is in verse 15 when it says, and destroy all the spirits, so the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. So in Romans, I think it's Romans 1, it talks about people getting turned over to their reprobate minds. And now that I understand a lot more about demons and how they work and deliverance and stuff, I think what they're saying there is, whoever is delivered over to the reprobate minds is just, they're loving their demons, and they're just kind of given over. And maybe that's where full on possession or something might, he's just going to give people over to their delusions and let them be at some point, because they're going to have made their choice.
Yeah.
And then in verse 16, where it says, destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let the plant of righteousness and the truth appear. So that's a prophecy of Messiah. He's the plant of righteousness. So I think that's super cool. And it shall prove a blessing. The works of the righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. So it's just so awesome that he prophesied of the end at the beginning, but he's also prophesying of Messiah.
Branch.
Yeah, exactly. That branch.
The plant and the branch.
Yeah. Grafted in.
Yeah.
No, those are all very good connections there, Sister Rachel, for sure. And you're right about the that whole serpent seed doctrine stuff. We see the ones who did do that type of thing, they were punished and locked away. So Satan didn't get some kind of special pass after doing it, and all these other ones didn't. That's not how Yahuah works.
Exactly. He doesn't play favorites, and the whole legal system he has set up falls apart if he's not fair and just with everything.
Yeah, very true. He has no how do they put it?
He's no respecter of person.
Yes, that's
He
it. Thank
doesn't
you.
play favorites for sure. Yep.
And yeah, even the angels that sin get punished, and depending on what they did and what their sin was, they were punished in certain ways, just like we saw there. The ones who did do those things got punished. And we see here it talks about, I don't know what it says in other people's versions, but it says half-breeds right here, basically talking about, those chimeras, or half Nephilim, or half angel, half human, I should say. Things like that. Pretty interesting. And Lachlan, shalom, brother. Glad you can make it.
Shalom. Hey, Jeremy. Thanks for putting up study or Midrash.
Yeah, it's good to have all the ones down there in Australia be able to join sometimes. Well, all the time.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
got
it's a
it.
better
It's
time.
it's on my to-do list to make the weekly meetings now. And then I just talked to Jermaine, and she's saying that it's at 4 a.m. now, so that's better than 3 a.m. So, but yeah, I've just been busy the last couple months moving houses and stuff. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
no
should be
worries,
around a
brother.
bit more.
Awesome. We'd be glad to have you. And no worries, you don't have to join in at 4 a.m. Our Sabbath meetings usually go for quite a while. But I think these
4 a.m.
ones...
is fine.
I know Jermaine
I like
is up
early mornings.
sometimes for it. Not all the time, but yeah. But no, it's good to have you, brother.
Thanks, brother.
And yeah, really the book of Enoch, it connects with what our history is, the giants, the Nephilims, where they came from. It shows, it was the fallen angels that created the Nephilim, not the sons of Seth theory that gets kind of pushed out a lot to dismiss the book of Enoch. And then we saw that sons of Seth theory actually came from Rabbi Akiva and his disciples. So again, nothing new under the sun, Hey, Marissa, Shalom. Glad you can make it.
Hello, Shalom.
I pray you are doing well. Yeah, you missed the reading, but it's all good. I got it recorded.
I know. Oh, I'm so bummed about that. I'm sorry I missed it. What chapter did you read?
So we actually read from 1 to 10. Got all the way to chapter
Wow,
10 here.
awesome. Yeah, and some of those chapters are not very long, so you can do that.
Yeah, there was like 3 that were a single verse. So
Wow. What version are you reading?
this is Yah's scriptures version. And
Okay.
there was actually, it was Dwayne who caught one of the, a difference in what the verse says. I forget which chapter it was.
Oh.
But there was, this version said
Yep.
something different than everybody else's.
2 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah, on this one it said, Nephilim, this giant bore Nephilim, then the Nephilim bore something else. But it actually, in all the other version, it doesn't read that. It reads that the Nephilim were born, and then it gives their size, which it didn't do in this version.
No, the Nephilim wasn't included in this translation. I'll just read the 2 verses here again.
Yeah, please do.
My glasses fell off. Wait a minute.
Yeah, no worries, brother.
And then my page slipped too. What chapter was it? I quote it. It was in, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, verse 2 to 7. And the angels taught them charms and spells and cutting a root and them acquaintance with plants. And the women became pregnant and they bare large giants whose height was 3,000 cubits. And your version said the women bore large giants, and then the giants bore Nephilim, correct?
Yeah. What chapter was that again? Sorry.
Chapter 7.
Let me.
So actually, just verse 3 is all you need.
Let's see. Yeah, here. Let's see. Yeah, they taught them charms and enchantments and the cutting of roots and made them to know plants. And they became pregnant and they brought forth great giants. And the giants brought forth Nephilim, and the Nephilim brought forth Eluid. So yeah.
Okay, and then yours doesn't mention anything of the 1,000 cubit height of the giants.
Yeah, there's no mention of any height or anything in this one.
What's Eluid?
I'm not sure, honestly. Let me see if
Mine omits Nephilim and yours omits the height of the.
I am not sure what that is.
Well, I'm just thinking like the word has L in it, so
Yeah,
um
yeah.
but and then like the Uid part reminds me of Druid, but I don't know what that like if you like divide I think they're called consonants, like the two parts of the word and look at it in the Hebrew if that would reveal the meaning of it.
Yeah, yeah. I will definitely. I'll have to do that. See exactly what that means. Oh wait, Kim's
Yeah.
on it right there.
Oh, I can't read because I'm driving. Read it to me.
I'll, here,
Okay,
I'll,
so it
I'll
says,
read it. Or
Eliud is a male given name of Hebrew origin, often interpreted to mean Yahuah is my praise, or my Alua is majestic. In scripture, Eliud is mentioned as an ancestor of Yahusha in the genealogy found in the Gospel of Matthew.
Oh, I was not expecting that. Well, I, I don't know because then wouldn't that sentence like suggest that that's the bloodline,
interesting.
right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even sure where they got their translation from with Yah scripture. Because yeah, that verse is definitely different.
Dwayne, are you reading the R.H. Charles or what?
This is Lumpkin, Joseph
Okay.
Lumpkin.
I think it reads the same as in the R.H. Charles as it does in the Lumpkin. Or I could be wrong there. I don't have it in front of me, unfortunately.
I know a lot of people who have just dismissed the book of Enoch just because of this one verse where it mentions 3,000 ells in height, which um, for some reason they're translating that as cubits. And I'm not saying that that's wrong because that comes out to about 4,500 feet, you know, uh, if it is a cubit.
That's one big giant.
And that, like I said before, the Clash of the Giants in Greek mythology
Yeah,
said they were the
that's what I
same
was
height.
thinking of, Dwayne.
They were the same height. So that's two different sources where it does proclaim 4,500 feet. And Marissa, when before you came on, when we were reading this before, I mentioned that uh, a lot of these things that happened before the flood were actually passed down by Noah and his sons, and of course they got bastardized, so to speak, and turned into these various legends. Now, I think those legends were true, that the
Oh,
clash of
like
the giants.
what about like
that-
folklore, like Jack and the Beanstalk and stuff like that?
yeah, probably based on a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because where did those stories ever come from?
We were
And
talking about big tree stumps, that you see, the big
oh yeah,
mountains that look just like tree stumps.
yeah,
And if the trees were that big, like that Devil's Tower, where was that? Where is that tower? It's somewhere in the like Utah or
Yeah, Utah or Wyoming or something.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think I know what you're talking
But
about.
whoever cut those down had to be 4,500 feet tall in order
Right?
to just.
And then it's like, what did they cut them down with?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
we
imagining the hugest chainsaw, I don't know.
that's exactly what I said.
Right?
I think it'd have to be a huge chainsaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then Jeremy mentioned the axe, that big axe that
Oh yeah. Yeah, an axe. I'm over here thinking chainsaw, but no, an axe.
yeah. There's like a mountain, and it has this formation that literally looks like a giant axe. And I was just like, wow. So I mentioned that. I had to go and find that picture
Wow.
actually, so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. But on that subject as well, there's mountains that look like bodies and have faces and all kinds of things like that. And
yeah.
basically, in all my studies, I've found that not all mountains, but probably a vast majority of them are either like melted cities, the bodies of titans and giants and even animals. There's a guy in Spain that there's a
Right.
mountain that looks just like, yeah, there's a mountain that looks like an elephant right next to him. And they even did like this cave thing, like scanning the cave. And it has a cave right where its ear is, like if it was an elephant, like a giant elephant. It's
Oh,
wild.
wow.
It's Stellium 7 or something like that is his YouTube channel name. He's kind of long and drawn out, but the information's very interesting.
Is that the one where they went in through
And
that cave and it looked like the inside was actually the inside of the brain or the skull cavity?
yeah, yeah, and it even had this like round rock where its eye socket is. There was like a round rock in there, like a petrified round rock.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's pretty big clues for me.
Yeah.
Some of the trees, large trees that were sliced so perfectly straight, are some of those from the good angels that sliced them down to stop the giants from climbing the trees so they couldn't escape the slopes? Is that a thing? Because some of them are really
I've heard
perfect.
that. Yeah, I've heard that somewhere, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no, but those are some big axes there, sister. But no, it's here, let me try and find it real quick, actually. But it's similar to things like that, but it's like a rock formation. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I found one. I've seen different angled pictures of it, but that's it right there in the chat. You can see it's just like sitting up there like it was just an axe that was laid there. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
Where is that at? Do you know?
Uh, I I don't know. Where is that? King of Wings Rock from. Oh, no, that I think that's his channel name. Sorry. No, that's his actual
Wow.
name. King of Wings. King of Wings. Interesting. So it's an actual formation. Let me here. I'll try
I
and
mean,
get it
that
on
does,
screenshot.
yeah, that does kind of look like an
Okay.
axe, though.
I think some were done with axe and some were done with sword. Because the pure, flat, perfect, straight ones would not have been done with an axe. I think it was like, a miraculous thing by a set-apart messenger's sword. That's just my thinking for the really flat ones. Because I know with an axe you can't cut so perfectly straight.
Yeah. Some were done with axes. Hold on, let me get these on screen for everybody. 1 second. All right, so yeah, so these rock formations, it's all the same King of Wings formation, I guess, is what it's called. But yeah, you can see how it looks just like an axe that was set on top of probably this tree stump, and it was just left there, and then it petrified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
So
petrified
that's in New
together.
Mexico. Was it northwestern New Mexico? And the place called Qumran.
Is
I think
it?
it is.
Yeah, New Mexico.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm trying to see exactly where in New
What's a
Mexico.
hoodoo?
What's that?
What's a hoodoo? Says
A
King of
hoodoo?
Wings is a hoodoo, awe-inspiring hoodoo located in the New Mexico wilderness.
I have no idea what that is.
Mm-hmm.
A hoodoo? But yeah, no, so we can see like evidence of the tools that they use, but of course they're going to call it some kind of, oh, it's a rock formation. It was formed naturally. Okay, that's why it looks totally different from all the surrounding stuff.
Yeah, that's what a hoodoo is, actually.
Oh, is it?
It's a rock formation. Yeah, it's a type of tall, thin rock spire formed by erosion. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So they say.
So they
Right.
say, yeah,
Wink, wink.
exactly. So yeah, no,
It would take some guy 4,500 feet tall to wield that thing.
yeah,
So
exactly. When you
it
said that,
looks
that's what,
proportional.
yeah. No, when you brought that up, that this picture is what came to my head. I was like, wow, it's got to be this, you know?
Yeah.
And there's other ones. There's like mountains that look like people. Hold on, let me.
I seen one the other day, which was like a foot coming out of the ground, which is pretty hectic.
Oh wow. No, I've seen something like that too.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, see, you can see all these like formations that look like different animals or people, or like look at this one. It's like two people were standing there and then boom, they were gone. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's this one. That's pretty wild, honestly. Yeah, there's structures like these right here. These things, these kind of remind me of something like buildings or towers and things like that. And then we see all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, and then there's this giant anaconda like rock structure. I think it's in somewhere in Asia. But there's like whole sections of this thing you could see, and even its head right here. But yeah, all kinds of stuff that they hide. And they say, oh yeah, this stuff was just formed naturally. Yeah, see something like this. That's what I was talking about. And they say, oh yeah, it's just a natural formation. That's these were clearly some kind of buildings.
Wow, look at that camel for
Yeah.
dromedary.
Yeah. Wait, which? Oh, this one. Yeah. Interesting.
Go back another one. There on the left, upper left. Look at that.
This camel here.
Yeah.
That's wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's the.
Yeah, that does look like a camel.
It sure does. And look, all these. So the Devil's Tower. Totally a tree. Yeah, it's really easy to actually look all this stuff up. I remember looking it up quite a while ago. And yet, these columns, these are usually how trees form. Like, as you can see, there's a video in the library group about the ancient history of trees, and it'll show a lot of these pictures and compare them to, smaller trees modern day that have been cut and chopped, and they make the same formations. Like, look at this one. It's even got the knot right there, like the knot in the wood.
Yep.
Yeah, so what they say is not always what is truth,
That's for sure. More things in heaven and earth than are conceived in the minds of men.
Yeah, this is true. And especially in the time of deception, the season of deception.
Yeah. That picture on the right top, second from the right. Whoops.
This one right here?
No, you moved it.
I moved it. Wait, is
Go
that
up another
more?
one.
This one?
Yeah. No, next one. There,
This
there, on the right-hand side. That one, second from
this
the
one?
right.
You mean this one?
No, oh no, go over to the right. To maybe it's your left. I don't know.
It shouldn't be reversed.
Right next to it. Right next to the where. No, go. Take it to the other side.
Is that
You're right there. Yeah.
okay?
Does that look like a standing man to me? To you? It does to
Yeah,
me.
absolutely. Look, they even got a little lift going across it here. The towering mountain giant. I'll get out of here. In the Bay of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
Wow.
That looks so real. I mean, that eyes, nose, mouth, chin,
Yeah.
bald head like mine.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably even ones that's not showing us on here. And I've seen this one, but I'm not sure if this one is actually real because I've heard some different things about this. But if it is real, I mean, you could see that. It looks just like a body.
Have you ever seen Moana?
Yeah.
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 Tell me they
The
don't tell us.
mountain.
Yeah.
They do. They hide it in plain sight. And you
It's
know
true.
what? This is a like slightly off topic, but truth hidden in plain sight. If you've ever seen Frozen 2, they have all the stuff in it about the North. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I gotta watch Frozen 2.
Yeah, you'll see. Well, you'll see it now, Kim, because like I think you listened to that presentation on Shabbat.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, like because of that presentation and everything, like you'll see it when you watch it. All the different things that are like connected. And oh, Kim, have you ever seen Lost History of the Flat Earth?
Oh yeah, I seen it years ago. Yeah, like what it was
Okay.
like 2 or 3 years ago I seen it.
Yeah, and even in like in Frozen 2, like they have it where the they the one people they like put a dam in and it like stopped up the water and that like prevented like their resources because the dam was
Oh,
there and it's like and then like when you think about it with like the power grids and everything how like they needed the water for that and it's wild like you got just watch the movie again now that you have some different lenses.
yeah, I the rock people, is that what
Yeah,
they call
and the
them?
rock people,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
No,
Yeah.
they're the North people. They're called the North Aldrin people, and they call them the people of the sun. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know.
Okay.
There's no coincidence.
Yeah, me and Miranda were like going back and forth about that movie the one day. Oh yeah, and then this, and oh yeah, and then that, and like yeah, the truth is hidden in plain sight, brother and sisters. It really is.
Yeah, we actually were watching, and this is not like scripture. Well, I guess it is kind of. We were watching what was it, National Treasure, right, with Nicolas Cage,
Yeah.
and showing the
Yeah, yeah.
kids, and from the beginning with the Freemasons. I'm like, I didn't even realize we watched the movie and didn't even think about it, and
Yeah,
now we know what
it's
to
pretty
know. And then they're talking about all these, but they put everything. That's like the whole Avengers thing when they make the bad guy the good guy and the good
yeah,
guy the bad. Right. Yep.
yeah, no, it's wildly right in front of everybody's face. But unless you have the eyes to see, you're not going to see it. Like you're going to believe that that formation on top of that mountain formed naturally, like they say. But yeah, no, it definitely some interesting stuff and really deep connections with the Book of Enoch, as we see. And then there was, oh yeah, what you shared there, Sister Kim, about Eluid, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Uh, I can read it actually here. So,
Aliud.
oh, is that what it is?
Hmm.
Aliud
Yeah.
is depicted as an angelic being and is specifically identified as the son of one of the Watchers, Barachiel. The Watchers, as per the Book of Enoch, are a group of angels who descended to earth to live among humans, resulting in the next generation of beings, the Nephilim. Interesting. So it does kind of connect with the way that it's written in Yah scripture too.
Right.
That's why it's good to have many versions of the same scriptures, testing them out together. And it's easier to do when there's many of us reading it at the same time.
Yeah, we should try that. Like go chapter by chapter or whatever, so many verses, whatever. And hear the difference in the different versions. That would be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know,
Is
when we
there a
start.
speak?
Oh, go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna ask if there's like a automatic like speak to talk option. I'm not sure, or do you have to push it down?
Uh, on mine, I just tap it. Like if you tap the mute, unmute,
So there's no
or
like automatic like voice recognition one.
um, That one I'm not sure about. It
Yeah, I
might
don't
be in
think
the
there is.
Okay.
I keep talking to my computer and it's not turning on. Forget I have to hit the button.
Yeah, I know they have that on like Zoom and stuff. I'm not sure if they have it here on Telegram though. And don't worry, Sister Kim, sometimes we all talk to our computer and nothing happens. But yeah, no, it's when we're reading these books, feel free if you have like different versions or copies of the same book, feel free to read along and point out these differences. It's really good to know.
Where did you get the scriptures from? Because I'm looking at getting a new like I just gave away my Sefer, so I need a new I got like other Bibles and stuff like the Dead Sea Scrolls one I'm reading at the moment, but yeah, the scriptures look pretty cool. The 2009 I think.
Yeah, the scriptures 2009. I think if you look up Institute of Scriptural Research, they should have it for sale on there. I can try to find a link. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Keen on getting one of them.
Yeah, I like the scriptures. It's a good version. Here, I think I found the site. Yeah, right here. Although I'm in the US here, so I don't know if it's gonna have a link. Maybe it will. Here, I'll just share it.
Thanks.
There it is. No problem. I know prices definitely vary between countries, and sometimes some places don't even ship to Australia, unfortunately.
Hey, Jeremy, on
Yeah,
yahscriptures.com, I can drop the link. It's free download.
yeah.
You can get the app for your phone, and you can put it on your computer. You can also buy. I've got a hard copy too, but it was like $80.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. Can you
I'll share in the chat.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
thanks,
I,
Kim.
I got a hard copy of it too. It's almost 10-pound book. It's the biggest Bible I got so
Yeah,
far.
hard copy would be. I prefer hard copy, but it's nice to have a computer version when you're on the computer and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's easier to copy and paste a whole verse than type it all out on a computer. Awesome. Thank you, Sister Kim. And actually, I know Yah Scripture I'm not sure if they got it yet, but they're working on getting a distributor out there in Australia. So you guys will be able to order Yah Scriptures out there, like a hard copy.
You might be able. Oh, you know what? I don't know. Can you guys order from Amazon?
Yeah, there's that too.
Right? Because I'm looking on the website, and they mentioned Amazon Books. So I don't know if that's just to read on like a Kindle or something. I have no idea, and I forget. I thought I ordered it from them, so I don't know. Yeah, it's like a workout just to lift it
Yeah, it
because
really
it's got
is.
for the Canon and then Apocrypha. I don't know that it's got all of it, but
Got quite a bit though, for sure.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
Yeah, no, I know
Awesome.
I know the Boss family for quite a while now, and they sent me my copy for free, and I was like, wow, I appreciate that. So I'm grateful for that. Truly, it was a blessing. And it does have all the Apocrypha. Well, maybe not all of it, but it has Testament of the 12. It has a whole bunch in there. The Book of the Nazarene, which is a really good one. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Sister Kim.
You're welcome. I'm fast with typing, so
Yeah, you're
let me
on
know.
it. You're on fire. Yeah, we got quite a few on fire that are quick with the links and the photos and pictures. It's awesome. And yeah, also welcome to all the new members who just joined as well. Our family keeps growing, and welcome to the family. Yep, that's it. That's it right there, sister. You know, it's funny. I had to put it on the table to read because sometimes I'll read from my lap. I can't do that with y'all scriptures. It's huge. But yeah, so I didn't want to have too long of a thing today, but here we are, almost 2 hours into it. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. They have that 66 book one now as well. That's right. And it's the same thing as the scriptures. It's just the Paleo Hebrew.
Yeah, because it's got it underneath, doesn't it, as well? Like,
Yeah, yeah. So like the scriptures will have it's like the modern Hebrew names and things, but Yah scriptures has a Paleo Hebrew name, and actually Hallelujah scriptures as well. It's all the same thing.
what? So Yah's scriptures has the paleo.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool.
And they actually went through and they made a lot of corrected a lot of grammatical errors that were in like Yah's scriptures, or not Yah's scriptures, Hallelujah scriptures. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah. So is it Yah's scriptures or the scriptures 2009?
they're the same thing, really. That just one's Paleo Hebrew and
Oh,
one's modern Hebrew. That's like the only difference. Because the Boss family was working with the guys from Institute of Scriptural Research, and they actually got permission from them to use like their edition, but they fixed quite a few errors that were
nice.
in there. Yeah, yeah. No, Hallelujah scriptures. Yeah, there's a lot of grammatical errors in there and mistypes and misspellings and things like that. And it is kind of funny. But it's a good translation. And if you ask nice, I guess they'll send you one free, maybe. I've heard that they don't always send them out for free. Yeah, the King Jimmy. Ugh. But I mean, it's better than nothing, even if you only got a King Jimmy. That's what I started on.
Right, the truth is still in there. You just have to want to see it.
Exactly. And there's a lot of those, King Jimmy only people, and they're like, this is the only, accepted translation by Yahuah. No, it's not. There's so many errors in the King Jimmy. Yeah.
That's funny. That is really funny. If they only knew who and what he was.
Yeah, I know. He's also got a book about demonology as well.
Oh, yeah. That was actually what written before his version
Yeah.
of scripture. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. A lot of people don't even know that. They just go with the flow, like, oh yeah, King Jimmy, let's go with it. Nope, sorry guys. Yeah, no, awesome fellowship, awesome discussion. And this Sabbath, yeah, I'm going to plan on going over the matters of the heart and the matters of Yahuwah's heart and how we should be following his heart and not our own. And I think it's a very important subject because there is a lot of issues with the heart, and Yahuwah knows each and every one of our hearts. So he knows what's inside of us, and he knows who his true people are and who aren't. So it should be a pretty awesome fellowship there. But yeah, if there's no other questions or anything else anybody would like to add, we'll probably end it
Hey,
for this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. I actually had to jump out of the car and just pick up our monthly fish haul. But and something I did want to say, but I knew I was getting close to jumping out of the car, so I didn't start the conversation. You guys were talking about giants. So in that same verse, it talks about teaching men about plants. What's with that? It says cutting of roots, and then it also says, teaching plants something in some different versions. Sorry. So my question is, talking about, plants. Are we talking herbalism here, or what's with that? Because we know that Noah had a book of herbs or a book of medicines. Does anyone know any more about that?
Yeah. So I believe it's referring to plants because it mentions root cuttings and stuff there as well. And it's using plants for like witchcraft and sorceries and spells and things like that. Because we
Okay.
do know that. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I believe it's for, plants and the use of sorcery, witchcraft, things like that. Not just like, because we see in Ecclesiasticus that, Yahuwah made herbs or medicines from the herbs of the earth, and those who don't use them are unwise, is what it says. And Noah's
Yeah.
Book of Herbs, of course. So we know plants and stuff are for healing,
Yeah.
but when you take them and you use them like witches do in their brews and such, like, yeah, that's what it's speaking about.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And sorry, so something else that's been on my mind in asking, and I didn't get there to do it on Sunday, and it kind of is similar to this particular topic, I guess. When it comes to using a medicine from a doctor, or if you go to the pharmacy, what do you call them, a drugstore or something, is it wrong to take a Panadol, an aspirin, what do you guys call it, pain relief, or antibiotics? Is it wrong? I know that we're meant to trust in Yahuwah, and I believe that it is part of pharmakia because they made these chemicals, and in Revelations it talks that those that are practicing pharmakia or something will be in the plagues in that book. Now, I'm sorry, and then to carry on with my thinking, it's like, is it the people who are practicing pharmakia, are we talking about practitioners? Doctors are always practicing. They call themselves a practicer of medicine. Are we still, I know we probably shouldn't go and take those things. Are we practicing pharmakia by taking a tablet?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I personally think that, all of that is associated with pharmakia.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, an aspirin or whatever is going to be bad for you, but, it's something between a person and Yahuah, I think. But in my opinion, I think all of that is just pharmakia. I try to avoid it as much as possible. But I know there are
So when you
some.
say, sorry, so when you say you try to avoid it as much as possible, as we generally do, but my dog had a big dog bite from another dog, and she was getting worse and worse. I took her to the vet. She's on, she's on antibiotics morning and night, and it's closing up. But beforehand, it wasn't. I tried a few different things, and it wasn't working. I went to the dog doctor, and they gave me pharmakia, and it's working. So we try to avoid it as much as possible. But
But
yeah,
there's certain.
there might be some.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so when you say you're trying to avoid it as much as possible, when it feels like we can say, oh, we're having less faith in Yahuah if we actually turn to man, and I get it. I do get it. And is it a lack of faith that we just go, oh, I just need to stop this infection? And I don't know how, because we're not taught how to do it with all the different other herbalistic ways that some of us just haven't got all the stuff on hand or know what to do. And you try one and it doesn't work, you try another one, it doesn't work, try another one, it doesn't work. Prayer is not working. So I know that sounds terrible to even say. I'm being really open and honest. But then you just go to the vet and it's like, here, take this tablet, and bingo, it happens. What the heck? What do we do?
It's interesting you say that. We were talking about this a while back about, I'm not going to go in the whole thing, but so I went to the hospital, but I debated because I'm like, oh, do I not have enough faith? Or is this the boat that he sent me that we have for an emergency situation? It's like, I don't know. Is it that I have lack of faith, or is this like an emergency where I don't know? And I do herbs and all that. I make antibiotics. I do all the stuff. I've got everything on hand. I'm the one you want to stick in the community that's got all the stuff. But when it comes down to an emergency like that, I don't know. I mean, I had to take a dog to the dog ER because he sliced his tongue on wood. And I'm trying to pour antibiotics down there, but it wasn't until they gave him their pharmakia that he was healed in like 4 days.
Yeah. And then there's an instance like my husband, he just had his 5th heart attack. We eat so well, and it's because it's something that's hereditary within his system. His blood just does this. But what do you do when your man's having a heart attack? Do you just go, oh, well, we're not going to go to the hospital, we're not going to take any pharmakia, we don't want any operations? What do you do? Are we going to be in the going to plagues because we trusted in man's doctor system to help us get out of this mess? It's just hard because, there's some people out there saying you have to stay right away from it, otherwise you're practicing pharmakia and you're bad. I'm a bit of a
No,
I don't know.
I don't agree with that. Sure, are there some beneficial ones that they have? Yeah, absolutely. And in emergency situations, things like that, it can absolutely be helpful. But for the majority part, like the clot shot, for example, definitely do not touch any of that. None of these none of the jabs that they try to offer you and say, oh, well, this is gonna, fix your this or that or another. The jabs. Definitely stay away
Yeah.
from those. I
So,
know there
They're,
are some.
they're
Oh, go
trusting in
ahead.
that
Jer-
as their faith.
so with the medical field, though, now they are slipping that in for whatever you sign. You got to be very careful. Because if you get anything by IV, and that you've got to make sure that you didn't give them permission by whatever you're signing before you consent to their treatment, that you're not consenting to that. They're getting real slippery about it.
Yeah. So yeah, in an emergency situation, take it to the Father, and that's between you and the Father, because I know there's even people who, they've been on these like heart medications or some kind of medication that they're now forced to take. Otherwise, they will die without taking it, or something bad will happen. It's because they're not times, but yeah, and I'm not saying like you're a bad person for taking your dog to the vet, like not at all. Like some situations require, drastic steps.
Yeah. So with my husband's situation, he's been on statins and he's been off statins. We've had nearly 25 years of his heart issues because of a hereditary thing on which we need to. We thought we'd cut it all off, in prayer and all that sort of thing, and cut roots, but I don't know. We still need to pray, I guess. But we've had years with him not taking any medications at all. He's in his early 60s now. He's had his fifth one, and they recommend, oh, well, you shouldn't have gone off your medication. And it's like, and now my son actually works in the cardiac unit in the main city hospital, and he's there out going, Dad, you're being stupid. You've got to take this stuff, and puts the fear back in him. And I know that he shouldn't have it. He says he's not going to take it after this next couple of months, but if let's just say all was said and done, and tomorrow's the last day, and we get judged where we're at, I just like, is the plague's going to come on him because he's taking pharmacia? That's right. I don't know. It's just really hard.
So, Jermaine, have you looked at, like, you're talking about the medications that he's on?
Yeah.
Have you looked at herbs and spices in that?
He takes a bunch of all that as well, and he's always taken all of that. He's on a lot of really good herbal heart stuff, and we've just sort of landed on some extra ones as well. So I think he's going to be stopping everything this year, like at the end of this year, and just going straight onto the herbs. But we just have a friend that is sort of preaching that you're doing pharmacia, you're practicing pharmacia, and we know there's good things out there, and we're starting, like, we have had some stuff, but we've found other ones as well that we're going to be trying out.
So some of the herbs will interact with medications, and I'm sure you've looked at all that.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. No, probably not enough.
Right. Well, my husband had heart failure, and their meds didn't work, and he was in for 2 weeks. So in the third week, I started slipping him everything of all the herbs I snuck it into the hospital, and he was taking it morning and night, and he was out in 7 days.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful with their meds. That's why I had to check, because I didn't want to be contributing to the death of him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They do ask, what else are you taking, and they haven't said anything about anything that he is taking. So. Anyway, thank you. I was just sort of inquiring about
That's just a big burning question just that's come up in the last it's come up many times, but just recently it's been another like, oh, geez. Oh, what do you do? Is it saying that we're not got enough faith or something? I don't know. We pray.
Well, I wouldn't say faith at all. We're born here to Babylon. They've given us pills, injections, they poison our food, our air, our water, all these things. So sometimes we have to turn to that to be able to, feel better about things, Babylon medicine or Babylon things. But again, I'm not, it's a fine line, honestly. And I'm not condemning anybody. I just personally believe that all of that is pharmakia.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
taking your doctor with that. Yeah,
Are we
go ahead.
Are we practicing pharmakia? Or is it the vets and the doctors that are practicing the pharmakia? We eat well. Everything we do, we eat organically, we eat clean, we don't eat processed. We do so many strict things, and we don't take vaccines, and we don't take so many things that, normal world Babylonian stuff people take. But just there's a couple of little things we've still got in the pocket, and it's like, oh, that was just my question. And, just wondering, where do you draw the line? What is practicing pharmakia? And it's funny that the doctors call themselves practitioners, like they are practicing. They're the ones practicing. They're the ones pushing the product. They're the ones getting paid to push the product. They're the ones saying that you'll die if you don't take this product. So are they the ones practicing? Obviously, we're lining their pockets by buying the product or being pushed to buy the product because, you'll die if you don't. We know that it won't, but who knows? There's some things that are actually helping to let him breathe a bit longer, do you know?
Yeah. No, I totally understand that for sure. And we can't condemn others or things like that, especially for that type of situation, and, about the doctors being the ones practicing these things, they absolutely are, because they take an oath to, what's his name? I want to say hypocrisy, but it's close to that. Hippocratic, something like that. Hippocratic oath is what it is. And it's an oath to some Greek god. And they have to sign. I know a few people in it, and they've had to do it before, but it's basically an oath to like a Greek god. And they have to sign it and say, yeah. Do you know more about that?
Now my daughter's really into or was in high school and all that, and she was taught me Hippocrates. So I have a question. So is this to be like our food when we pray over our food, pray over your medication that you take, and if there's something that he needs you to know that, ask him to treat it the same way? With that suffice? I mean,
no, that's a good idea, because praying over everything, really, our food, the water, even if you have to take medications, pray over it, pray about it even. And I think that's the best step. But it's a very sensitive topic, and it's especially sensitive for YouTube as well. So we got to tread carefully around those lines as well. But yeah, it's honestly, take it to the Father, pray about it, and He will show you what you need to do.
there's nothing mentioned in Torah specifically about any of this, is there? I mean, when I look at the whole thing, we are working so hard to be to make sure that our fruits are good. And then it's like, if you don't know, it's like, and this one, and I say little, I know that it's not little for you, Jermaine, but with how far we've come, it's like, this is the one thing that's going to trip me up. You know what I mean? I,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. I think that this is not trying to pass it off, like
yeah.
you're
No,
make light of.
yeah, and no, it is one of those situations that definitely pray about it, Sister Jermaine, and I will for sure be praying for you as well. Yeah, it's a tough situation, but you know what? It's between you and the Father and your husband. Just you guys all just pray about it, and whatever he leads, that's the decision that he's led you to.
I love you all, and I have to go. Thank you, Jeremy, for everything. And I will
Yeah, no, thank
see
you.
you in Shabbat. Well, in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Shalom.
And yeah, Shalom, sister. Thank you for joining.
Thanks.
And yeah, I was actually thinking of ending it there as well if nobody has any further questions or anything they'd like to add. No problem, sister. No problem. It's not easy living in Babylon for sure. But yeah, so Shabbat, we're going to be talking about the issues of the heart, going over it, how we should have a heart to follow Yahuah's heart and the importance of it. And if we have a foundation in following Yahuah's, we're not going to be led astray off that narrow path. So it's pretty foundational and important, I think. And you
Jeremy,
are welcome.
sorry. Is there a specific book that you're going to be pulling scriptures from that we could look at beforehand, just to read and ponder?
I'll gather them all up. I usually use the scriptures. It's $19.99 because it's right there on a Bible Hub.
Okay.
And that's actually how I can find scriptures so easily. I just go on there and you can type in a keyword search and things like that, and it'll pop up all the scriptures about whatever word that you bring up.
Okay.
So yeah,
Bible
no, I'll
Hub.
try.
Bible Hub.
Yeah, Bible Hub. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
And when you click on certain verses there, it'll show all the cross references and things like that. And it's pretty cool.
Mm.
There's also blueletterbible.com and a couple other good ones as well. Those are just easy ones for me to search out. I know some people use like eSword and things like that as well. But there's a lot of options out there. But I'll gather them up and I'll share some of the scriptures in chat there.
Awesome.
No problem there, Brother Lockman. I don't know if he joined back in. Oh, no, he hasn't. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, no, we'll talk about more about that on Shabbat. I'll share some of the verses that I'm gathering with everybody here in the chat, and it'll be amazing to see everybody there.
Is Marissa gonna do like any more of her part two? Like, I know last Shabbat we were talking about the North. She was gonna, I think, oh, is she here? There she is. Like break it down to the next section. Not sure what that section would be.
Not this week.
Okay,
Maybe the first Shabbat of September is what she said there.
gotcha.
So yeah, we're definitely going to break down portions of that as well. So no, it's going to be awesome and amazing.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Jeremy. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you, brother, and
Hmm.
thank all of you, brothers and sisters. And like I said, it's more than a fellowship to me. It's much deeper than that, and we're family, and we all need each other. But
Amen.
yes, and until we meet again, which is on Sabbath, I pray you guys all have a blessed rest of your evenings or days, wherever you're at. And we will
And
see
same
you
to you,
all on,
brother.
thank you. And we will see everybody on Shabbat.
Okay. Thank you, Jeremy.
Hey,
Yeah, thank
thank
you.
you. Shalom.
Shalom.